Welcome back. What's going on? Welcome to the Nick and Jack Show. We are here. We've got a jam-packed show for you guys today. Nick, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty pumped up for the show today.
Oh, I'm ready. We got Austin Andonisio, sophomore starting pitcher, relief pitcher, right fielder, cleanup hitter for the Chatham Baseball team. We're going to have an interview with him in a little bit, and then we're going to get into some lacrosse.
Track and field.
Yep. A little bit of baseball, not too much, but yeah, we got a good show for you today. Once again, we'd just like to apologize for all the technical difficulties we've been having. The past two podcasts, we've just had an innumerable amount of problems.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
That's
a
fancy word. I'm going to use that now. Sorry, I don't mean to steal it.
No, you're good.
Go ahead.
We've had a lot of just problems come up, and we've actually had two podcasts that we're not able to post. Files getting deleted, computers getting corrupted, everything you can imagine. But hopefully we put an end to that today. We're not leaving this building until it's all set and we're ready to go. But once again, follow us, Instagram, Twitter, at Nick and Jack Show. We're going to be doing a giveaway soon. We're going to be a lot more interactive coming up. You know, we've been a little quiet on social media because we've both been just
pretty busy
just
stuff. You got baseball, graduation stuff.
His senior year, my grad year, so we're winding down our college careers right now. So we're trying to keep up with this as much as we can because this show means a lot to us. And yeah, we got a good show for you today. We're going to take a quick break really quick. Just wanted to introduce the show really quick, and we'll be back with Austin Andonisio. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? We're back on the Nick and Jack Show from a little break. We got Austin Andonisio, sophomore, right?
Yes, sir.
Sophomore, baseball team, starting pitcher, right fielder, cleanup hitter this year.
Yeah.
Kind of moved into the cleanup hitter spot. Ando, how you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good.
Good having you on the show, my friend.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We got some questions for Ando, and then we'll get him out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, like Nick said, stepping into kind of a bigger hitting role on the team, moving away a little bit from the pitcher role, still a pitcher, but getting more into the hitting side. How have you been able to transition into kind of more of a hitting mindset compared to like a pitching mindset?
Yeah, I mean, I think the hitter role it's really important for our team because you need to score runs in order to win ball games. If you only pitch and give up 0 runs and you don't score any runs, I mean the game's still going to continue. I think I really prepared in the off season, doing a lot of instructional work, and I actually helped little kids like with their hitting. I think that's really helped me as a player to try to see what's wrong in other people's swings, and I really prepared to face live conference arms. I think I did a pretty good job of that, and I think I'm ready for the season.
Absolutely. So. We've talked about it on the show a couple times. Last year, the team went 1-17 in conference play, but we also have talked about how that kind of doesn't reflect how the games were actually played, though, because 17 losses and 1 win never looks good. But we've talked about how there've been a lot of like seven games with like down by 1 or 2 runs. I think 9 games where we lost it in the 6th inning or later. So, what's the main difference? From last year going into this year that you've noticed, not only from a whole team standpoint, but from a pitching standpoint, since that's your main job on this team?
Yeah. No, I think the preparation this year has been more focused on, pitching ahead to batters, not falling behind, not giving up too many walks because, a freebie thing is a real big thing in baseball, and you don't want to give other teams, free bases. Errors, will definitely kill a team. And I really think, like from the pitching standpoint, we're really focused on pounding the strike zone, making the hitters having to adjust to your pitches and not the other way around. The pitcher owns the mound, and he has to own the game. That's how we have a chance to win.
Exactly.
Yeah, and for me, what I'm really looking at is kind of your Myrtle Beach trip this past year compared to last year's Myrtle Beach trip also. But what was kind of a big thing that you guys wanted to take away from this year's Myrtle Beach trip moving forward this season as you guys are now approaching conference play coming up on Saturday and you're kind of really getting into the thick of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I really think that we came back knowing that we have to finish games. We can't give up games. In late games, we have to finish them. The biggest thing is, having to correct a lot of the mental errors that we had on the field. And that's where it really comes down between having, a team that's just an average team to a team that's, a great team. And, I think that we can really, correct that and move forward in the conference play. And that's really going to play out in a lot of our games this year because we're not a team that's going to hit a lot of homers. We're not going to put up those kind of numbers. So we have to grind out all of our at bats. We have to grind out in the field. We can't give away anything. We have to play a perfect game in order to have a chance to win.
Right.
So one thing I've been thinking a lot about is with some of these changes going from last year to this year. I think with pretty much every team, you always have a motto. Of what you're playing for, how you're playing the game. And, last year we focused a lot on family. And let's be honest, last year was just not a good year for Chatham Baseball. But going into this year, we've had the attitude where, our assistant coach Jason Bush, he's always said everything matters, which is 100% correct. But one thing we've added is the term all in. So what does that phrase kind of mean to you?
I really think it means taking everything seriously. You're never laying down and letting the other team walk over you. Whether it be in practice, if you're competing against your teammates, it really means that you have to put in the preparation in order to be successful. Like you have to buy into everything that the coaches are telling you, and you have to make the corrections. So if you're failing, because in baseball you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times, and, and you're still considered good. And you really have to learn how to make the corrections, and you have to learn how to adjust as yourself as a player. And when you can do that, then you're all in. You can buy into what everybody else is doing. When all 9 other guys can buy in, that's when you have something special. It's just getting to that point, I think, is going to be the biggest key this year.
I think one thing I've noticed is we've had Coach Sauer on, we've had Coach Richards, and we've had a couple of the basketball guys. One thing that they keep just repeating is they've had so much success because everybody from the starting 5 to the last person on the bench has bought into the process. Right. So I think, like you said, that's one of the main things is if people are buying in, success will come, that success comes with it. Do you think everybody is buying in on the team so far?
I think it's getting there. I think it can be better. I think it really comes down to guys understanding their role.
Exactly.
And the communication of, there's going to be guys on the bench. Every team's going to have guys on the bench that come off the bench, and they need to be, prepared to go into a game, whether it be if you're a pinch hitter, if you're going into the field for a defensive replacement, or if you're coming out of the bullpen, you need to be prepared to execute what you're asked to do. And I think that's really going to be the biggest thing. And I think we're starting to get to that point, but I still think it could be improved.
I got you. For sure.
Have you noticed this year? Now you guys have a lot of first years coming in, and a lot of first years have been stepping up to the plate. No pun intended, but they've been doing a great job. Caleb Lehman, I know we've mentioned his name a couple times, absolutely raking from the plate. How has that kind of communication factor that you mentioned being passed down from the seniors and juniors and even the sophomores, guys that have been on the team, to the first years who are new to this and they might not understand their new role? How have you guys been able to communicate to the younger players?
I think we've done a pretty good job of that, and I think they actually are really stepping up and being the leaders of the team, even being first years, and I think that shows a lot of character on the team, and I think we need a kick in the behind, and I think that the younger guys stepping up, it challenges the older guys to say, hey, I think we need to work on our game a little bit more, and I think that competitive nature within the team makes it really fun and makes it a good atmosphere. And I think that would produce a lot of wins in the future.
Yeah, I know for me with noticing other teams and how they kind of deal with their younger players and how they go about ushering them into a new kind of style of play. Going from the high school game to the college game, that's a big difference. I know for any sport, and I'm sure in baseball it's probably even more of a drastic change with guys throwing even harder, breaking balls break even more, and guys are hitting the ball much, much further. So that's what I've always really noticed was that these first years on your team, they're really starting to step up and they're, taking their roles, and that's the big thing is first year sometimes they don't like to take those roles. These new roles are kind of like, I don't want to do this. I'm coming from, high school where I was the man, and I've noticed at school, there's teams that have first years that are able to sacrifice a little bit for the greater good of the team, those are the teams, like we were talking about, all in. Everybody from, like you said, Nick, the first guy to the last guy, those are the teams that have the most success.
Everybody's doing something.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got to pitch in somehow, some way. But I'm really excited for conference play. What's your guys' mindset heading into conference play?
I think taking away from our 2 losses against Pitt Greensburg, I think that we really need to, like I said before, we need to focus on executing and finishing games. We went into the 7th inning, with a 2-run lead, and we wound up losing the game in extra innings, and that's what it really comes down to. Baseball's a war of attrition. It's a mental grind, and it's not so much the physical tools. I feel like we have all the physical tools to win. It's that mental grind and winning every single inning, winning every at bat. You can't give away anything because we're not a team that can overproduce in like other areas like home runs. We're not tearing the cover off the ball, so we have to implement a lot of the small ball tactics, and I think that's really going to play into our conference play.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
As people know, first conference game this Saturday, 5:30, Westfield. It's where the Homestead Grays of the Negro Leagues used to play. Come out, support us. We're going to be playing St. Vincent. And then Sunday, we travel to St. Vincent for a 7-inning game and a 9-inning game. So it's here. The wave is here. We just got to ride it.
Absolutely, yeah. Going to be a great weekend. Going to be a great. I'm really looking forward to coming and watching you guys. I'm actually going to be doing the color and play-by-play for your baseball game. So
I actually didn't know we were getting that.
Yeah, I just got informed of that not too long ago. So next year you and I will be on that. But this year it's going to be doing a little bit. So I'm excited to watch you guys play. It's going to be a great year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just before we go really quick, I should know this since I'm on the team. But what's the plan with you this weekend? Because we have 3 games. You're one of our starting pitchers. Do you know what your role is?
On Saturday, I'll probably be playing right field.
Okay.
Not sure where I'm going to be in the batting order yet. Might drop down. I didn't have the best couple games yesterday, so it's only fair that the freshmen get to move up in the batting order. But on Sunday, I will be pitching the game 2 of the doubleheader at St. Vincent, and I'm going to bring my A game, give us a chance to win.
Good. Absolutely. Get a little 3-game sweep, huh?
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That would be pretty nice. It's going to be cold, so we got to bring our the tassel caps and the jackets, absolutely. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah. See what I've been thinking. I've just been thinking, what's our best way to get a good start to the season and just kind of go into the more of the middle of our season with. Just not ahead, but not behind.
Right.
And I was thinking, if we can find a way to pull out 2 against St. Vincent this weekend, just find some way to win 2 ball games. We go to W&J next weekend, which W&J, best team in the conference. Like there's no argument about that. They've been the leader in the pack for years on end now. If we can find a way to get 2 against St. Vincent and then just try to find a way to get 1 against W&J, we'll have 2 of the top 3 teams out of the way, and we'll be 500.
That'll be great momentum.
Exactly. If we can find a way to do that and just go 3-3 against St. Vincent and W&J, I feel like we'll be in a good place moving into more of the kind of lower tier teams in the pack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though we're the lowest of the low right now.
Well, you got a whole season to prove that wrong.
Exactly.
You got a whole season to prove that wrong. So, well, Austin, we appreciate you coming on today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes,
I'll see you at practice.
All right.
See you guys. What's up, everybody? We're back on the Nick and Jack Show. We just had an awesome interview with Austin Andonisio. He actually told me I've been saying his name.
Say that 5 times fast.
I know. I've been saying his name wrong for like 2 years now. But he's a sophomore on the baseball team, outfielder, starting pitcher, relieving pitcher. He does it all, Mr. Utility. But good interview with him. Learned a lot.
Very good interview.
Yeah, it's good to see
someone. Give us a lot of good information.
Exactly. It's good to see another you on the baseball team,
Yeah.
But we got a lot more for you. We got some women's and men's lacrosse. Once again, I don't think anybody's shocked. Rebecca Pennington coming up with another win this past weekend. And then we're going to just head on straight into a little bit more baseball, just a more overview. So, Jack, what do you got for us?
Yeah, so women's lacrosse last week had a tough game against Notre Dame of Maryland, lost 19-8. But as usual, Carrie Carr doing her thing, leading the Cougars in goals. She scored 3 goals that game. And the next game for the women's will be this Saturday, actually tomorrow at Ellis Field, 3 o'clock. Be there. Bring your outdoor voice. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a good matchup.
It's going to be a little cold, though, so bundle up for sure.
Absolutely. Men's lacrosse had a great win last Wednesday before they went out of town over the weekend to Maryland. They defeated Marietta 17-7. Kyle Rowland doing his thing. Also led the team with 6 goals. He was also named Pack Rookie of the Week and Cougar of the Week. So congratulations, Kyle, on a stellar week last week. The team also lost to McDaniel over the weekend, 19-11. Kyle Rowland was also the leading goal scorer with 7 goals. So
13 goals in 2 games.
That's a lot of production.
This might be, and obviously they've only had, I believe, like 6 or 7 games so far, between 6 and 8, and yet every time we're on the podcast, we're talking about Kyle. So I think this might be a household name we're talking about for the next couple years, and maybe there's some PAC awards in his future, especially for this year. He's off to a great start. The team as a whole.
Oh, great start. Oh, absolutely. They come out of the gates running. They've done a great job. They build off of last year. They've improved from last year, and they've added new pieces like Kyle Rowland to their lineup. And as a result, it's starting to show. They're one of the top teams in their conference right now. They haven't gotten to conference play yet, so that'll be interesting to see how they kind of play against their competition in their conference. But it'll be an exciting year. I'm looking forward to both women's and men's lacrosse this year and seeing how they do.
They have a game tomorrow too. It's their scout day, so they're going to have a lot of
lots of
new guys in the stands.
Lots of prospects.
Also, I think we might need to have a lacrosse guy or a lacrosse girl on here soon. We haven't had any lacrosse.
Get some new faces, get some new sports, get some new representatives of different sports and stuff for the spring season.
Exactly. So now I think we should move into a little bit of track action.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Track and field. Rebecca Pennington. If anybody knows her, we haven't hit her up on social media or anything like that yet. But if you see her on campus and you watch this, tell her we want her on the show. We're recording another podcast either next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our best to get her on the show because it seems like we got she just wins, sets a record, gets another win, sets 3 more records.
Right.
Not only for Chatham but for the President's Athletic Conference as well. So that's just
she set a couple of those records in the outdoor season. In the
Exactly.
outdoor finals. Yeah, she's done a great job. She's done a really, really nice job.
So
she's actually won this event a couple meets ago. Also, she won the 5,000 meter run. I think it was in the indoor too.
Really?
So it seems to be her event.
What does it say? What was it? Just the 5,000 meter run? Did it say where, like what meet it was?
It was at Washington and Lee, I believe. Okay. Yeah, it was last weekend. Yeah.
So another victory for Rebecca.
Congratulations, by the way, on being Pack Rookie of the Week and Cougar of the Week too.
Set the school record with a time of 17 minutes, 55 seconds, and 79/100ths of a second. So great start time. I was actually trying to run that PNC Park. There's a 5:10K at PNC Park.
You run across the bridge, right?
Yeah, I don't know where you run.
Yeah,
I know you finish inside the stadium though.
Yeah.
I was really trying to do that, but we have a doubleheader that day. It's on April 20th, 420. But also, I know that the Student Athletic Advisory Committee, they're looking for volunteers for that 5K. So if you're an athlete, it'll be from 6 to 10. You get free Pirates tickets. It's going to be a fun event. You know, it's
a big incentive right there. Free Pirates tickets.
Exactly.
Wow, absolutely. I would go volunteer for free Pirates tickets for sure.
Pirates have good deals. It's like $10 for students. Me and my roommates, we just bought our tickets to opening day last night.
Oh wow, really?
So we try to go to opening day.
Okay. Opening day is awesome. I love opening day. It's a great atmosphere. Great atmosphere.
Ever since I started going to Tampa Bay Rays games back in 2005. The only reasons I missed opening day were because of baseball. So I think out of that 14 years, I've missed it like 3 times. So opening day is an experience.
Yeah,
so last year, my dad flew up to Pittsburgh. The year before that, we went to opening day. It was fun. Speaking of opening day, you want to get into baseball?
Absolutely. I was going to actually segue it in for you. You're the baseball man. Please take over.
Well, just quick shout out. Game tomorrow night, 5:30, Westfield. It's right across from the waterfront. It's where the Homestead Grays of the Negro League used to play. So it's a really historic field, but it's beautiful. They re-turfed it a couple years ago. It looks great. It's going to be a little cold, so we're not expecting a ton of people to show up.
Hey, but you know what? You know what? People could filter over from the lacrosse game over to the baseball game, no problem.
It's our first conference game against St. Vincent. So it should be a really good matchup. We played St. Vincent twice last year, and I think the score was 4-3 and 5-4 for both games. And I think both games we lost it in the 7th or later. So, like we've talked about many times, our problem last year has just been finishing games. So if we can find a way to do that this weekend, it's gonna be a good start off to the year.
Yeah.
And kind of my philosophy, I can't remember if I talked about it with Ando just now, but my philosophy is We can take 2 against St. Vincent.
Yeah, you did. I
Find
remember
a,
you talking about
yeah,
this.
find a way to get at least 1 from W&J. We'll have 2 of the 3 best teams in the pack out of the way in the first week. So if we can leave with the top 2 of the 3 teams with a 500 record going into the rest of
You guys are sitting
conference play, that's going to be a really good start.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I know this isn't Chatham, but I was just surprised. Like this, I saw Waynesburg beat Geneva yesterday.
Really?
Just take a guess at what the score was. Just take a random guess.
Oh boy, you put me on the spot here. Okay. 20-10.
23-2.
Wow.
Waynesburg beat Geneva 23-2 in their first conference game. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
I just had to mention that. Like I read that last night on the PAC Twitter.
That had to have been a rough bus ride home for Geneva.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Oh, man.
By the way, talking to Twitter, follow us, Nick and Jack Show, Instagram, Twitter. Here's those Twitter handles and Twitter and Instagram handles for you guys to check out really quick, just so you can get a visual on them, just so you know how everything's spelled and all that good stuff. But yeah, just kind of back to the baseball team. I think it's really not a far-fetched goal to aim for one of the 4 playoff spots. You know, for those of you who don't know, baseball has 4 playoff spots instead of 8 for some reason. But you know, especially with Thomas More being gone, Thomas More and W&J were pretty much always had the number 1 and number 2 spots, and then the other 2 spots were up for grabs. But now there's 3 spots up for grabs because W&J, I think every team in the conference realizes they're kind of a household name in the pack for baseball, so they'll get at least one of the top 2 spots. Mm-hmm. So the next 3 spots are up for grabs, and I don't think it's that ambitious to think that we can make the playoffs and be top 4 in the pack, you know?
Right, I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. I'm excited. I'm excited for a great year
really
for you guys. And hey, conference play starts tomorrow, so
exactly, it's going to be a fun year.
hit the ground running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once again, we'd love your feedback on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to be on the show, also just let us know. We're open to hearing everybody. We're trying to highlight anything we can here on campus about Chatham athletics. You know, so if you have a good story, an awesome background, just let us know. We're trying to, whatever you guys want to hear, we're tailoring this show to fit your needs. So if you have something cool, one of your teammates, one of your coaches that they want something highlighted, just let us know. And even if we can't get you on, we'd love to talk about it. We don't want to,
exclude anyone.
Exactly. We get a little bored with some of this stuff because some weeks are lighter than others. But I think that's all we got.
That's all we got.
Follow us on social media, and once again, never forget.
Go Cougs.